So the reason that I live here in Berlin is because I'm an opera singer. That's why I moved here. So I make loud noises with my face, and sometimes people pay me money. That was what I signed up for when I came. Yep. You can tell it's going well. It's like I manifested a little to the left. So by the way, the snort, that's my tell. That means I like you. You're getting laid. So I moved here to sing opera, and you know, opera is a weird thing. I frequently wonder, who came up with this shit? Someone was walking around Italy in the 1200s and was like, art. This is great. We're gonna put people in ridiculous costumes and we're gonna put them on stages and they're gonna do this for 4 hours. And we're gonna make money. And it's true though, because if you're paying €10 to hear me go, weird. But if you're paying €200, that's art. You're getting culture. And it's, you know, it's not a common thing to do in the United States to sing opera. And the first time I was cast in something exciting was 2018. And I went to my parents, and I was in a small production in New York, and I said, Mom and Dad, I've been cast as Gerhilde in Die Walküre, which is the second opera in the Ring des Nibelungen by Richard Wagner. And my parents went, we're so proud. Proud, Greg? We're so proud. In their defense, my mom was a lawyer and my dad was a Navy pilot. By the way, did anybody see Top Gun Maverick? Woo! You got a little Marion. Oh yeah! Yeah, my dad saw it 4 times. Twice in IMAX. So I went to go see Top Gun Maverick with my father who flew A-7s in the 80s, and he spent the entire film going, I did that. I did that too. That's what it's like. But you know, I looked at my parents after I told them this, and I said, you know this opera. You've heard of this opera. It has that very famous theme. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, 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 you know, from Apocalypse Now. And my dad went, oh yeah, they play that on ESPN sometimes. Y'all, that's a sports channel in America. So it's funny, when you get a lot of Americans together, we get a little louder, like Italians, which is like, everybody gets a little louder. But like, this opera is an amazing opera. How many of you have been to the opera, by the way? That's right, if you have not been, guys, you are in Hollywood for opera. Berlin is the place to be. We've got 3 world-class opera houses, the Staatsoper, the Deutsche Oper, and the Komische Oper. You should go to the opera, because this bitch wants to work. Valkyria. The first 2 acts are a bit like Star Wars, except Luke and Leia do it. And then you get to the 3rd act, and the 3rd act really is one of the best gifts of art to the Western canon. It's amazing, and it's everything you think of when you think of the cliche of the Valkyries. Like, you've got the helmets with the horns coming out, and you've got the shields and the spears, and if you go to see it in Bayreuth, there are even horses on stage sometimes. When I did it in 2018, I had a stick painted black. That's fine. But it's amazing because it starts with these violins, like, boo, boo, boo. You got 25 violin players playing their fucking faces off. And then you have the horns that come in low. Boom, 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 boom. And Wagner, when he was writing this, he was like, the horns? No, make them bigger. There's literally a Wagner horn. It's bigger. And so you have all of this sound coming at you, and then the first Valkyrie comes out. That's Gerhilde. That's me. We have a stage, so we're going to use it. So Gerhilde runs out on stage and goes, which, in the German that Wagner made up, means, where my bitch is at? And then the next Valkyrie comes out, that's Helmwege. And she runs out on stage and goes, which in the German that Wagner made up means, bitch, we coming. So if you've seen the opera, you know this goes on for about 45 minutes, which is the same amount of time it takes a group of women to gather. Anyway.